Welcome everyone, and it appears like we're actually live, but we didn't realize we were. So here we are. My name is Elle Wilson. I'm the creator and co-founder of True Brow, and
I'm Sabrina Ailes, and I am the head educator in the United States
for what?
For True Brow.
Oh, I just thought that you'd want to say that just to make sure. Hello everyone.
True Brow.
Coming to you. We're going to be coming to you with this segment every single week, aren't we, Sabrina?
Yes, and it's going to be so much fun.
But you know what? More importantly, I mean, it has to be fun because we wouldn't do anything if it wasn't fun anyway. It's going to be so informative, and we're going to be bringing to all the women worldwide all the ins and outs, the myths, and everything about the natural brow, because that's our specialty. Are you laughing at me? What is going on?
Sabrina? No, I am not laughing at you.
I'm just checking. We've got to check that she behaves herself, and it's really, really important.
I'll behave, I promise.
What are we going to talk about today, Sabrina?
So today we are going to talk about busting brow myths with regards to what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And brow guidelines.
We are really talking over each other. I don't know. We're going to have to get better at this. We're going to have to get better at this. But whilst I'm having my really healthy green smoothie, right?
Yeah.
This is really important because it's Elle's birthday next week and she's going to be 56. That's me. So she needs her green smoothies. Anyway, so let's get going. Let's move fast today and just engage everyone and make sure that you're asking questions, telling us if it's great for us, for you to have us here, what you want to know, what you want to hear. But we want to talk about one of the biggest myths that we have is that because someone has gone to beauty therapy college or has done a brow course that they are an expert in restoration, transformation, or anything like that, you know, anything to do with the specialty skill of advanced design or anything like that. So tell us, Sabrina, like for you and your experience, how was it for you when you went to beauty? You know, I keep saying beauty.
Oh, it was so long ago.
So long ago. I mean, you know, I know.
Yes. I went to Aveda here in Minneapolis, and I graduated in 1995. And when I came out of school, we really focused mostly on facials, and we definitely learned waxing, but it's really difficult, truthfully, to remember anything before True Brow, to be quite honest with you. I started with True Brow in 2013. It's with regards to that part of my career, it's really very, very difficult to remember anything about it, how I moved, what I thought was good, what I didn't think was good. I don't even know what I was thinking, to be honest with you. But for certain, you come out of beauty school. I know when I did, and I honestly think that you still do, because you still see these guidelines in magazines to this day. You're really kind of taught these guidelines that compromise the brow, and then you really just don't know what you're doing.
So, you know, one of the things that I was thinking about, you know, the other day, I went down, I have to show everyone, and you know, I'm dreadful. If I see a really beautiful cover, I can't help it. I actually
that's gorgeous.
But isn't it just gorgeous? I love it. But you know what the thing is, can we really believe everything that we read about brows in these, you know, really fabulous magazines? Sadly, we can't. And we're here to expose all the myths. We're just going to blow them out of the water. And we're going to tell you, as the brow experts, world brow experts, and why can we call ourselves that? I mean, that's a really important thing. You have to get to learn to trust us as we're communicating with you. And I want you, what's really important, Sabrina, I know for you too, is that you're checking in and thinking, you know, is what these women saying, does it make sense to me? Because brows have been one of the biggest issues that we've had as part of our beauty therapy curriculum. And this is worldwide. And the consumer, the client looking for that expert to, you know, go to for her brows. I mean, these beautiful women are thinking, oh, well, if you're a beauty therapist, you've had extensive training on brows. Not true.
That
this
is
true. The biggest myth we're busting today, because we're going to keep busting over and over. And we're going to be bringing to women really just what is true brow, what pre-true brow, what women could really, really lean on, and what can they lean on now post-true brow. So
Right.
this is not something new. It's not just a product that we give you to take home. It's a whole body of knowledge that I brought into the world about 18 years ago. And we are going to offer it to you so that you can see, we're going to be really like unraveling the myths so that women have got a powerful, powerful level of knowledge when they go and see their beauty professionals, you know, and that you're the ones that can step up and go, well, hang on a minute, I think I know a little bit more than even you do. And that wouldn't be hard, because what did you learn, Sabrina, in beauty therapy or aesthetic college? Like, how long did you spend on brows?
Well, I mean, I did brows on the floor. I think in the actual curriculum, we may have spent a couple of days on brows, and it just was within the context of the whole section that we did on waxing. So you're learning. Time we didn't really do Brazilians, but you're learning Brazilians, and you're learning right, and you're learning bikini waxing and leg waxing and arm waxing and facial waxing, and oh, here's brow waxing. And then you're done and you go on the floor and you start doing them. And when I actually started working professionally, I remember being terrified because, as you pointed out, women do think when they go to a beauty therapist or an esthetician, basically is what we call them in the United States.
Yes, give us
that they're going to someone who knows what they're doing. And I'm not taking anything away from those professionals.
No.
But you only know what you know. You only know what you think you should know. And when you come out of aesthetic school, you only know what you've been taught.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing is that textbook guidelines, you know, I always say, I don't know if you created them. Did anybody ask? Has anyone ever
I have no idea who created them. It was probably someone associated with Estee Lauder or something in the 70s, or
it
who
could
knows,
have been anybody, couldn't it? And the thing is that
anyone.
it's been used as the, you know, the actual true principles, the true guidelines, let's say guidelines, and they're wrong. And it's almost like, how do we know they're wrong? It's not just because we're saying it, right? That's crazy. Because, you know, why should people believe us? But look at what's been going on with a woman's brow, like for, oh gosh, you can even say centuries, you know, right at the beginning of the post-World War II, when women started coming out, and the brow has been just exploited, like through trends, and, you know, like people would come in and all of a sudden there'd be a fashion trend and women's brows worldwide would be destroyed. And we're kind of facing that now with tattooing and microblading. And I have my own story about that. That is like a over 30-year-old story, which I'm going to be presenting to you all. Nothing to hide here. We're going to come full forward at all, right? And so the brow has gone through so much. I don't know if you agree. And, you know, every now and again, I'll probably forget what I was about to say. Was I on a path? Ooh. Who knows? It's just going to be just like one for all.
Well, we were talking about who created the beauty, the guidelines.
Who created the guidelines?
And how do we know if they're right or wrong?
Well, we know they're wrong because we see what they're doing to the brow. We see what they're doing to the beginning of the brow. We're seeing how they're shortening the brow. Like everybody believes the brow length is on the end. And, you know, when I came out and started training, I was telling the world, I was telling beauty professionals and women passionate about brows, the true length of the brow is at the innermost point, which is what we call it right at the beginning. And I was saying to them, you know, it's okay. Don't worry so much about the end. It's at the beginning. But most of the time, using the textbook guidelines, the innermost point, that beginning part of the brow was just chopped off, gone. And how much do we spend, you know, how much time do our true brow specialists spend restoring that
innermost point?
Discovering
a lot.
Where does it begin? Like, it's not like using a ruler or a stencil. And this is where true brow is different, right? We don't use rulers, we don't use stencils. This is all freehand because it's almost like we teach our students how to come from that genius zone within. That's my new word.
I love it.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to throw it.
I do. I'm going to take it on and let it land.
Yeah, let it come in and go, wow. And it's beautiful because you can't be in the genius zone and have an ego, right? Because those two don't match. The genius zone is kind of like stepping into your inner creative process and coming from that and drawing up from that and creating extraordinary beauty. It was a little bit like Michelangelo said about the marble. He said, I saw the angel in the marble and I freed him. He also said, isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And he also said,
I love it.
He saw David in the stone and eliminated around him, which is what we do when we design, right?
Correct.
So post True Brow has been extraordinary for the brow world, and it's going to just go off. I mean, even more and more and more when women really start to realize that natural is what they want and they can have it, right? But they can't have it if they're going into textbook guidelines. They can't have it if they're going into microblading. They can't have it if they're going into YouTube bloggers that are saying, you know, this is how you find the brow, or stencils, rulers, henna, any of those kinds of trends. That's not where it lives. You know, and so we're going to come each week and we're going to just blow everybody's minds with lots of crazy fun. And, you know, aren't we? Isn't that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to just like, we might even put on some music, do a bit of dancing. We might do like crazy stuff, right? But, but Sabrina, think about it. You've got like triplets, right? You've got 3 girls.
I do. I have 4 girls. 3 of them are triplets.
I was about to say about your eldest, but I wasn't going to leave her out. But the triplets is a good thing. Let's be honest.
It is huge.
4 girls. I've got 1 girl. My girl is a true brow specialist. Go and check her out at thenaturalbrow.yg. She is amazing.
She's wonderful.
She is like, whoa, she's fantastic. And she loves true brow and she's just amazing at it. But go and check her out on Instagram. But you've got 4 girls. So how important was it for you as a mum to have, like, you stepped into true brow when the girls were really kind of getting to that age where they needed to do their brows, right? So that was kind of, must have been fun.
Yeah, it was. And I've always, even though I didn't really know how to do brows pre-true brow, and didn't understand the design concepts that we use, I still understood the importance of the brow. So that was, I was definitely a little bit ahead of the game. I will give myself credit for that because I knew not to destroy the brow. I wouldn't say I was ever designing a brow beautifully. I knew not to just rip it off because it just didn't matter. You know, they're very temperamental. So with my girls, as they have gotten older, I've been able to preserve their brows.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? So good. And have they loved that? Have they loved that their mom?
They do. They love it.
And I bet that they're really proud of you too, because you've accomplished so much. And you know, you came into True Brow really, really early on, and look at you now. You're the head educator for the USA. We've got other magnificent educators in the USA that we've been producing and bringing in. We might even have like a Zoom room. I wonder if we can do that and we'll just have fun.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be fantastic because everyone's got their story and something really, you know, amazing to share. But the biggest takeaway is, please don't believe just because someone's gone through beauty college or done a brow course or done a 5-day tattooing course that they deserve to have your brows. Your brows are so important. And as women, we need to rise up and go, well, hang on a minute, who's going to touch my brows? You know, the amount of stories that we have, you know, like brow fails that we experience at our masterclasses, and you in your spa, Sabrina. It's huge, isn't it? Huge.
We've seen many at our master classes when we've had so many women come through in Las Vegas and Seattle, and we've seen a lot of brow fails.
We really, really have. And, you know, we're so excited about coming to you every week, and you can ask the questions that you want to know. Like one of the biggest questions, we're going to handle this one next week. I'm just telling you so you can prepare, is, but my brows don't grow. You know, if I had to make a cent, one little penny. Is that what
every time someone said that?
Every time someone said, you know, my brows don't grow. Wow, like, you know, I would, I don't know. It's just, you know, and we have the biggest archive really of before and afters to prove that is a myth. It's another myth that my brows don't grow, right?
Right.
And that's so exciting. So go through the feed, everybody. If you've jumped on, go through and check out like what you're seeing. You have to believe your own eyes, right? No serums, correct? No serums.
Correct.
No gimmicks, no tattooing, no microblading. We're throwing that off the table. Stay away from that. And if you've got
Right.
a situation where you're a little bit embarrassed about your microblading and your microblader saying, come back and I'll fix it, stop it. Don't do it. Like,
Right.
stop doing that, right? And we're going to give you the solutions here on how you can support yourself. And we're also going to be helping you online. So I want you to really get excited about your brows. Take your power back. Many of you might not know, I've written the power shift, so I had to throw that in. Take your power back.
Right.
Take your power back around your brows, because your brows can make you feel, they can make you look, what am I trying to say, Sabrina? Help me out. Like they can make you, oh, look at that. That's wrong. Let's just fix it.
They can make
you.
Well, they define your beauty. I mean, they really define your beauty. They can make you soft and approachable, or they can make you very harsh and shut down looking.
And
so
and
they really
go on. I'm not interrupting.
Oh, I was just going to say they really interpret your beauty.
Yes. What do you mean? Say that again. What did you say?
They interpret your beauty.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that before. I would also say that they allow you to express your inner softness and inner beauty, confidence. They change you, don't they?
They do.
They change you. Like we have seen women that have come to us that look like, you know, they look unhappy even, or overly surprised, or even a little unapproachable. Like if you're at a bar and you want to connect with someone and you've got these brows that are so scary, like men get scared. Men can literally get scared.
They do. They do.
You know, once I had this man come in, I don't know, I think he was coming to fix my fridge or something, and he asked us, you know, what do you do? And I said, oh, you know, we train beauty professionals in eyebrows. And he said, I hope it's not microblading. I told my wife I'd divorce her if she
got Isn't that something? Like that just says it all right there.
But you know what, even if you have gone through that, even if you've made that decision, and I've got something to share with you about that. So don't feel like, don't allow yourself to go down the path of feeling sort of bad about it, or if it hasn't worked for you, because there's millions of women in the world that are suffering right now and have high pain points around tattooing in their world. And they just don't know what to do. But it's kind of like when you make a decision like that, you can feel a little embarrassed because you sort of kind of think, what I did to myself. So, you know, you've got True Brow. You've got nothing to worry about. We are now here, and we are here to help you. And we're going to support you with our specialists, not all of them, of course, only the ones that decide to do this via online. We're going to be able to offer you so many goodies so that you can feel fantastic again about your brows, because your brows, you don't want to feel unapproachable. You want to feel beautiful. You want to feel feminine. Those brows that you can see right next to me, I love working on them every time I go to the States.
It's fun when you come.
We love doing that. I love doing that. And, you know, I do that because, you know, we're friends and I can sit there and just have a play. But the reality of it is that please, after today, the one thing, we have to just get one myth, Sabrina, don't we, at a time?
Yes.
Off the table.
Yes.
Please do not believe that just because someone's gone to beauty school, aesthetic school, cosmetology school, that means that they are a brow specialist or that they know how to design a brow. Sure, these girls like us, I went and like Sabrina, like you said before.
I didn't know.
Well, I didn't know, but I did the same as you. I knew enough not to destroy brows. Like that was one thing. So kind of intuitively, I did less for, you know, I just made them tidy and made them look nice, but I really knew what I didn't know. And I kind of had to accept that before I could bring True Brow into the world. That was like a little moment of sheer vulnerability and honesty that I had absolutely no idea what I was doing if I was to make a woman's brow beautiful. And then, you know, it was like this grand miracle, but we'll talk about another time about that. But the thing is that we have something, we have the alternative. Women don't have to keep turning towards all these gimmicks and fixes that ultimately leave them, you know, in a lot of cases, not all, we're not generalizing. We know there are some people that are happy with the short-term fix. but a lot of the time, much of the time, disappointed and not feeling like your brows are an expression of your, you know, the way that you want to present yourself to the world,
Right.
to
Or the way
refine
that you
you.
feel.
Yeah, to make you feel confident, to get compliments. You should be getting compliments about your brows day in and day out. You know, like my
Right.
clients, I remember, would come to me and say, "Oh, can you give me some more referral cards? Because everyone keeps asking me about my brows." And I would go, "Yeah, of course, I can do that. Here's some more,
Yeah.
here's some more, here's some more." And I, you know, I never had to look for a client. Like, you know, it was just never necessary because, you know, everyone was just, yes, please, yes, please. So if
Right.
we know that we can have a natural alternative to our natural brow, that the current education right now inside of curriculums for
Right.
anywhere around the world cannot
Right.
offer, and nor can those short courses, you know, like a 2-day course,
Right.
1-day course.
No, no, I did those also.
Yeah, and we won't mention the people that you.
No, of course not. But I saw several celebrity brow trainers and very, very popular, very successful. I spent a lot of money doing it, and I walked away and knew nothing really more than I knew when I walked in,
Yeah, it's full
because
on, isn't
there's
it?
no tangible principles to learn from and to move with. There just isn't.
Well, you know, with True Brow, really, that was the huge, you know, it was the world's original natural brow restoration and advanced
Mhm,
design course that we brought
mhm,
in, and
mhm.
the most comprehensive, and it's a mastery based education. You know, it's kind of that
It
genius
is.
zone that
Mhm.
when girls learn to access that, they just keep learning and growing because there's no end to it, you know. So
Right.
one more thing that we can say to everyone before we go, because, you know, we want you ladies to be putting your brows up for us. Put up your brows and say, "This is my brow."
Oh, that would be
Let's have,
super fun.
wouldn't that be just fun?
Mhm. That would be very fun.
And we're going to put up tutorials. We're going to be just bringing so much stuff to you here, and what we want to do is really support you so that you can actually really feel good about your beauty again when it comes to your brows. But I was going to say something. I forgot again. Is it because I'm nearly turning 56? Is that what's going on? Or is it just like, I don't know?
Well, I'm hot on your heels, so all I can hear is my dad saying, "You're having your best day, honey."
Oh,
Every
I love
time.
that. That's fantastic. Look, we want these segments to forget about what I was going to say. It'll come back, and if it doesn't, we'll add it next week.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. But one of the things also is that we're reaching out to the younger girls. We're reaching out to the younger generations because, you know,
Sure.
I have a daughter. We've got triplets over here
Mhm,
and another daughter.
mhm,
You know, we
mhm.
know what it's like to speak to you, to communicate with you, to help you. If you've got your questions, your brow questions, throw them in and let us get back to you. Let me personally, I'm so excited about helping you and supporting you so you can make those decisions that you're going to feel so good about, because your brows are on your face. I mean, they're on,
Right.
they're not going anywhere, right?
No,
And they're really one of the first things that people see when they, you know, when you're, it's kind of, first impressions do count, don't they?
they do. And I think not attracting, but taking care of younger women and the younger generations, having them step forward and submit their questions really gives us an opportunity to help them. But at the same time, have them not end up in their 40s wondering, what did I do back in my 20s and 30s?
But I'm going to talk about next week, maybe next week or the week after, about what I did in my mid 20s. And that's like over really 31 years ago. Is my maths correct?
It's
25.
around there.
Sounds fine. Once you get over 50, who cares, right?
It's around that number.
I think the other thing that's really fabulous about being here with you, Sabrina, whatever, is really coming forward with the younger generation and saying, you know what, we've been there, we've done it, we've been through this
Right.
whole, you know, we're going through maturing and getting to that stage in our lives, and we want to give back to you. You know, we want
Right.
to give our insights, a little bit of our wisdom if we have any to share, and we can
Give a
also
little.
help you in so many ways. How about
Mhm,
talking about skin? One of my favorite topics. We don't have to just talk
mhm.
about brows. As
Right.
beauty experts, beauty professionals, we're going to come and we're just going to give you everything that you deserve. We're going to be authentic, correct? We're going to be authentic.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
going to be, what's the R word? And we're going to be
Real.
Real. See, I didn't
Real.
even have to tell her. We're going to be real with you, and we're going to just give it all to you because you deserve it. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel good about your choices. And to do that, you need to discern them. You need to look at, you can't just believe what you see on Instagram. You can't just believe what you read in one of these gorgeous magazines. You really want to, right? You want to, but have a look at all the ads. There's
They're
ads in
typically
there.
led by trends, those magazines. I mean, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, they've been around forever.
I love them. But I can't
Led by trends.
But I can't read them. You realize that, don't you? I buy it and I look at the pretty pictures. I actually can't read them because it just hurts my heart when I just see all of these things they're saying that are just not real a lot of the time. And we want to give you the real stuff, the stuff that really works. We want to be authentic with you. And we want to answer all your questions because we want what's best for you. We want to be the best thing that's ever happened to you around beauty. And you're allowed to ask any question of us and we will give you a real and true answer. How about that, Sabrina? What do you think?
I love it. I love it.
It's fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Sabrina.
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, and it's going to be great to be back with you again. And might get you to, can we get the girls to actually log into something so we can send them a little message and say we're going to be live so that you know when we're back again. And I think we need an intro though. We need a little sort of like funny little intro. Don't you think we need something to perk everybody up? We're about to get going and talking about fun things. And we're going to come with so much more. And have a great week. Sabrina, have a great week. And
you too. Nice to see you.
And stuff that are going on at the
I'll
moment.
be staying out of those in Minneapolis for sure.
Stay at home. And we'll be back, ladies, next week.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much.